Look at Eminem's life. Eminem's been sheltered his whole life with security. So Eminem probably got mad anxiety. He probably can't be by himself and walk through a mall. You can catch me at the most craziest gas station in any hood in America. He'd be like, "That you, Zeno?" Somebody, "Yo, let me get that picture." Yeah.
I ate his up. I cooked him. Now, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, he cooked me. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But what you stands is not gonna do it. What you saltines ain't gonna do is try to come here and be like, I didn't affect him. Stop it. Because that shows that y'all ain't real hip hop fans.
Let me tell you, his fans, bro, his fans like him because he's white. They don't fuck with us. Let me try to make fuck Eminem. I dusted Eminem. Rap Elvis. Yeah.
It's 2025. And Benzino is still out here throwing shots at Eminem, desperate to get a reaction. But he hasn't said a single word about Zeno since Doomsday Part 2 dropped.
Since Doomsday Part 2
Now,
dropped.
Benzino's out here claiming that Eminem used him for clout, built his street cred off their early 2000s beef, and then tossed him aside like yesterday's trash. According to Zeno, he's the reason Eminem was ever seen as controversial, raw, or even real. Sure, their beef made noise back in the day, but let's keep it real. Eminem dropped the
sauce and nail in the coffin, then went on to star in 8 Mile, snag an Oscar.
And nail in the coffin, then went on to star in 8 Mile, win an Oscar, and completely owned the 2000s. Meanwhile, Benzino lost his grip on the culture but still walks around like he's the main character. And while M stays completely unbothered by Zeno's barking, somebody else decided to jump in. You already know who. Yup, Eminem's ride or die. 50 Cent 50 slid onto Instagram just to clown Benzino. And now these two are trading jabs online, while M is probably somewhere scribbling rhymes and laughing his head off. So let's break it down. What exactly did Benzino say? How did 50 blow it up again? And why might Eminem's silence be the loudest diss of them all?
Rip shit, fucking with my blood, about to rip shit, rip shit. Niggas on my neck.
Internet is roasting him non-stop. You already.
So here's what went down. Benzino just dropped a new freestyle, and the internet is roasting him non-stop. And you already know 50 wasn't gonna let this one slide.
Yo, this is the worst ish I heard this year. The F wrong with him. He's 60 years old, bro. Nah, this ain't it.
Grabbed the clip, threw it up on his X account, and added a savage caption. Yo, this the worst ish I heard all year. The F wrong with him?
Over her alleged involvement with Diddy. And then, because this man lives for drama, challenged 50 to a full-on boxing match.
Explain it to little Bruce Leroy while Sleeves and Diddy and a bunch of niggas slutting around. I think you're gonna have to owe him an explanation when he gets older. Don't act like we ain't see you on the beach with your Bugs Bunny T-plate with the camera taking pictures. Yeah, you was in your feelings, huh? Nah, Curtis, it's not a good look. But I tell you what, though, the boxing challenge still there, Curtis. For the celebrity, I'm down to make a couple of M's. I'll go 3 rounds with your goofy ass. That's number 1.
So here's what went down. Benzino just dropped a new freestyle, and the internet is roasting him non-stop. And you already know 50 wasn't gonna let this one slide. He grabbed the clip, threw it up on his X account, and added a savage caption. Yo, this the worst ish I heard all year. The F wrong with him? He's 60 years old, bro. Nah, this ain't it. Of course, Benzino took the bait instantly. He clapped back by taking shots at 50's ex, Daphne, dragging her alleged ties to Diddy into the mix. And because this man clearly lives for drama, he went one step further, challenging 50
Look
to
at
a
Eminem's
full-on
life.
boxing
Eminem's
match.
been sheltered his whole life with security. So Eminem probably got mad anxiety. He probably can't be by himself and walk through a mall. Of course, I'm sure he would get mobbed, but just feeling safe. Like his whole life he's been
This is in Boston or something like that. How did everybody feel about that?
Nobody paid attention to that.
Right.
Eminem did not grow up gangster, and Eminem knows that. Eminem.
If you're wondering why 50 even bothers roasting Benzino, it really comes down to one thing: loyalty. See, one thing about 50, he's always going to ride for his people, no questions asked. And Eminem, he sits right at the top of that list. Let's not forget, M was the one who took a massive gamble on 50 back when the industry wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. That kind of loyalty, that's for life. So when Benzino came at Eminem back in the early 2000s, he basically stamped himself as a permanent enemy in 50's book. And lately, Zeno's been trying to stir that pot again, calling Eminem sheltered, saying he won't even step outside without a squad of bodyguards. Meanwhile, he's out here bragging that he can roll solo anywhere.
Got nothing against Eminem. Eminem can rap, but I care about us more. Come on, man. My daughter came into the industry figuring that, hey, I gotta be cool with Eminem because everybody's against my dad. I don't hate Eminem. I don't know him to hate him. I don't hate white people. Tired of this shit, man. It's just too much. I don't want to be the bad guy. I love all people. Come on, man. All me and Eminem got to do is sit down and talk with each other. What happened? Would you give him a 5? I'd hug him.
Now here's the thing. Benzino's not wrong when he says Eminem didn't grow up gangster. But here's the problem. Eminem never claimed he did. So Zeno's shots, they're not even landing. And the wildest part? He's back at it again, tossing shade like we all forgot the receipts exist. Let's not forget, just
The Eminem Show. The Source magazine, which Benzino co-founded, hit the album with a 4 out of 5 mics rating. M felt it deserved a perfect score.
last year on Drink Champs, the same man was literally in tears talking about Eminem, practically begging for a face-to-face sit-down to squash the beef once and for all. Fast forward to now, and he's back swinging like that moment never even happened.
And on his diss track,
Fast
Pull Your
forward to
Skirt
now,
Up,
and Benzino
he
is right
took
back
it
on his
even
antics,
further,
trolling both Eminem and
claiming
50 like it's
M's race was
2003
the
all
only
over again.
reason for
But
his
to really get why
success.
these two have been locked in a feud for
Benzino
decades,
rap,
we've got to rewind to
5 shades
2002.
darker,
That's when Eminem dropped it.
You'd be cannabis. No one would care about your complicated rhyme style. What you know about pumping on the block till you freeze. What you know about cutting up rocks, ducking D's. What you know about facing a grand jury indictment. As far as I'm concerned, you're just industry excitement.
The Eminem Show. The Source magazine, which Benzino co-founded, gave the project 4 out of 5 mics. Eminem thought it deserved a perfect score, so he fired shots at the Source and at Benzino directly. According to M, the only reason he didn't get 5 mics was because he's white. And that's when the gloves came off. Benzino clapped back, calling Eminem a culture vulture. On his diss track Pull Your Skirt Up, he went even further, claiming M's race was the only reason for his success. He rapped, 5 shades darker, you'd be cannabis. No one would care about your complicated rhyme style. What you know about pumping on the block till you freeze. What you know about cutting up rocks, ducking D's. What you know about facing a grand jury indictment. As far as I'm concerned, you're just industry excitement. Later, Benzino tried to soften his stance, telling MTV, I had a problem with the machine, with the double standard in hip-hop. Certain
Benzino dropped Die Another Day and even leaked a recording of a phone call between himself and Paul Rosenberg.
Well, you know what? I didn't want it to happen in the first place. I spoke to Dave after I heard about the first record, and I was like, Dave, what's up? Why, where's this coming from? And he was like, he's got some things he wanted to get off his chest. And you know what I'm saying? But I mean, is the call, what's the call for? He's already dropped his record. You guys made your move, so what is really the call? Oh, I just wanted to see if there's any way that, we can make peace of the situation,
media outlets crown him the savior of hip-hop, #1 in the game, while ignoring the guys who actually built hip-hop. Eminem is just the hood ornament for the machine. You think I could grab my crotch and put my ass in people's faces like he does? No way. But because the color of his skin and his eyes fit what America wants, it's all good. And on Pull Your Skirt Up, Benzino even claimed Eminem ran to his manager, Paul
Tell Haley it
Rosenberg,
ain't safe
begging
no
him
more.
to handle the
Daddy
But
better watch your
Benzino
back
didn't
at the
just keep
candy
this
store.
feud on wax.
You messed
he crossed
up.
a serious
Resort
line.
to plan B.
On his track
Mess
Die
around,
Another
you end
Day,
up like John
he went
Benet
after
Ramsey.
Eminem's daughter
The
Haley,
bar
and
sent
not just in
shockwaves through
passing.
the hip-hop
He
world,
dropped a chilling
with
threat,
many saying
making a
Benzino had
disturbing
officially
reference
gone
to
too
John
far.
Benet Ramsey,
And
the
instead of
child
backing
beauty
down,
queen who was tragically
Benzino doubled
killed
down,
at 6 years old.
claiming he was just giving M a taste
Benzino
of his
rapped,
own medicine.
Tell Haley it
He
ain't
pointed
safe
to
no more.
Eminem's earlier
Daddy
diss,
better
The
watch
Sauce.
your back at the candy store. You
Benzino's
messed
son,
up.
Ray Ray,
Resort to plan
rapping,
B. Mess
"Here's a
around,
poster of Ray
she
Ray
end
and
up
his
like
dad.
John Benet
You
Ramsey.
want to talk about some shit you don't know about?
That bar
Yeah?
sent shockwaves
Let's
through
talk
hip-hop.
about how you're putting your
Fans
own
and
son out
artists
there to
alike
try to
agreed.
eat off him.
Benzino
because
had
you missed your
officially
boat.
gone too far. But instead of backing down, he doubled down, claiming he was just giving M a taste of his own medicine. He pointed to Eminem's earlier diss The Sauce, where M mocked Benzino's son, Ray Ray. Here's a poster of Ray and his dad. You want to talk about some you don't know about? Yeah, let's talk about how you're putting your own son out there, trying to eat off him because you missed your boat now. Yes, Eminem brought up Benzino's kid first, but there's a difference. M wasn't threatening Ray's life. He was clowning Benzino's parenting, accusing him of chasing clout by putting his 7-year-old son on tracks, like Shine Like My Son. Meanwhile, Benzino wasn't just throwing shade. He was literally threatening Haley, who was also 7 at the time, and even then, he refused to back down. In another MTV interview, Benzino tried to justify himself, framing it as a bigger issue of double standards in hip-hop. Eminem gets to do songs we would never get away with. He gets to rap about killing his mother, beating his girl, doing drugs. But when Black and Latino rappers try to speak on our pain, we can't get spins on the radio. We have to entertain more than expose. The machine doesn't want our pain out there. Eventually, Benzino did backtrack, at least a little. In 2012, he admitted to Global Grind TV, the Eminem thing started getting uglier and uglier, and of course, I can take responsibility for some of the stuff I said directly towards his family. You know, really personal shots. It was out of order. But even with that apology on record, he clearly couldn't let the grudge die.
Eminem's revival album trash.
By 2018, he was back stirring the pot.
Benzino wrote,
this time
"Can
clowning
somebody tell these
Eminem's revival
weirdo M
album
fans
and
that in
even
this
taking
culture of
aim at
hip-hop,
M's fans."
they are the subculture?
On Twitter, he wrote,
meaning nobody
"Can
gives
somebody
a
tell
flying
these
F about
weirdo
anything they
M
have to say
fans that
when
in
it
this
comes to him
culture
right
of
now?
hip-hop, they are the
The album is
subculture,
trash, so take
meaning
the L
nobody
and
gives
move
a
on.
flying fuck about
The shots
anything
were
they have
loud.
to say when it comes to him right now. The album is trash, so take the L and move on." The shots were loud, but once again, Eminem didn't even blink. Fast forward to February 2021. Words weren't enough anymore. Benzino actually challenged Eminem and Royce da 5'9" to a boxing match. M stayed silent. The whole thing faded into the background. But by early 2022, Zeno was at it again, claiming nobody in his hood ever listened to Eminem's music. When a fan dared him to say it to M's face, Benzino doubled down. He tagged Eminem directly and wrote, "I'll say it to his face, but he's a scared coward, just like his fan base." Then in full troll mode, he started posting and deleting more rants dragging M's supporters. He even went as far as dropping his own restaurant's address online, daring stans to show up. To all stans, we all know you are the most corniest.
We all know you are the most corniest, non-violent, coward fan base hip-hop has ever seen. I have a restaurant in Atlanta, 5071 Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, Chamblee, Georgia. Stop tweeting and pull up on me, UP. He was basically begging.
Same way he always does, with complete silence. But then, fast forward to 2024, and M finally broke it. After decades of ignoring him, Slim Shady gave Benzino the attention he'd been chasing.
Eminem
On
fired
Doomsday
shots
Part
at
2,
both
Eminem
Benzino
came
and his
swinging,
daughter,
firing shots at both Benzino and his daughter, Coi Leray. It was the first time in years he'd addressed him directly. On the track,
What is the opposite of Benzino? A giraffe.
What is the opposite
Go at
of
his
Benzino?
neck.
A
How
giraffe.
The F is that?
Go at his neck.
How can I go
How
at
the
something
fuck
he
is
doesn't
that?
have?
How can I go at something he
punch-
doesn't have? The punchlines were razor sharp, but he didn't stop there. He dragged Benzino's money problems, then twisted the knife with a jab about his sexuality, referencing long-circulating rumors that he'd been caught on the DL after allegedly being spotted with a male companion, escorted by
in the shower. What the fuck does he want me to do, man?
All right,
That's
sir.
crazy,
So-
man.
so-
So we're leaving.
Is there anything else in this room?
There's somebody else in the shower. You want to go talk to him?
Okay. Now, granted, if we was white, it never would have happened. If it was white, you wouldn't be doing this. This wouldn't be happening at all. If we was a white couple, John and Bill Summerfield, this would not be happening. But they kicked us no matter what we're wearing, no matter who's our partner. So.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Eminem even aimed at Benzino's daughter, Coi Leray, with that "guessing the toilet."
Guess that Coi Leray feats
one
in the
line,
toilet,
and
eh?
the internet exploded. Benzino wasted no time firing back. He dropped not one, but 2 diss tracks straight at M. But here's the kicker. Despite Zeno going all in, Slim didn't flinch. No tracks, no verses, no interviews, just silence. And that silence, that's what's eating Benzino alive. He clearly expected M to keep trading blows, to stay in the ring. But Slim delivered his shots, walked off, and left Benzino shadowboxing with his own rage. Now, instead of landing hits on M, Benzino's just swinging at 50 Cent, desperately trying to keep the fight alive. So where do you stand in this beef? Was Benzino ever really a threat, or has M already buried him without lifting another finger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. I'll catch you in the next one.